Everyone, and welcome to another actionfeatures.net/motumovie.com video spotlight. Now, if you've been with the channel, you've probably seen the video on this figure already, which is the first custom created by Matthew Hackley in a wide range of customs based on the 1987 live-action Masters of the Universe film. The Frank Langella interpretation of Skeletor being this figure here. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you go back and watch it. It gives you a more in-depth look at what's going on with this idea and what Matt's doing. But for a quick rundown, I'm a huge fan of that film. It's stuck with me over 30 years. We're at the 30th anniversary now. I created a blog years ago, MOTUmovie.com, that posts a lot of stuff I have from the film. It's got interviews with some of the people behind the film and the actors, Gary Goddard, William Stout. I'm a big fan of the movie. And years ago when I met Matt Hackley online and we discussed customs and he made some customs for me, we did Star Trek stuff and then he did some Kenner Batman stuff. He does a really good job of mimicking styles in his customs and trying to make them fit into other lines. We got to talking about the 87 Masters movie and I said, man, I would love to have figures based on that. And so for the 30th anniversary, Matt has really stepped up his game and brought forth these customs that are just incredible. Not really mimicking any style, but truly making figures based on how the characters looked in the movie. As close to realistic as possible. If any style is being mimicked here, it's maybe NECA, and that's because NECA does such a great job of capturing live-action characters in 6-inch plastic form. So, the first figure was obviously this one, the Frank Langella standard Skeletor. And as we got to talking about the second figure that Matt would be doing, he said, well, you know, I've already done Skeletor, and the logical step would be to, you know, instead of moving away from that, since I've already done Skeletor, would be to do another version of Skeletor, which I think everybody can agree is a figure that has been long requested, and that is the God Skeletor from the end of the film. After he has acquired the power of Grayskull, the coolest look of Skeletor that you could possibly have, God Skeletor, is the second figure in the custom Matthew Hackley 1987 live-action Masters of the Universe line. And man, this knocked my socks off. As great as this is, and as I'm saying all this, I have to reiterate that this figure's perfect. He did an amazing job on this. But as great as this is, this might just be better. I mean, it's got so much going on with it, and it's so awesome, and it's a unique look of Skeletor that has never been captured in another way. You could say the same thing about this, but still, Skeletor, you know, it's a hood over a skull face, and, you know, he's a dark outfit. You can kind of say that it's reminiscent of his regular look, is this Skeletor. But this is such a unique look for the character, and it's visualizing what it would be like if Skeletor won, because he wins in the movie. I mean, he gets the sort of power, he's controlling the sorceress, He-Man's kneeling to him, he's got the power of the universe. It's the Skeletor at the top of his game, as big a threat as he could possibly be. That's God Skeletor. So that's the next figure, and Matt has really, like I said, taken it to a whole nother level. We've got all the stuff we saw on the previous release, the previous Skeletor custom. I gotta make sure I keep this in frame. Kind of bring it in a little bit. So we've got all the stuff, the insanity that was the last custom, where he's got all the individual little tiles on both the straps hanging over his shoulders and all over the skirt, where he's got all those little and tiny individual tiles that are sculpted to match the film. He's got the little tiny skulls at the tips of the fingers, and the little tiny little circles at the knuckles. He's got all the intricate boot patterning, the ornate design on the chest. All that stuff from before is here again. But we've also got now the helmet, which is an incredible design. Gary Goddard was a big fan of Jack Kirby, and that's very evident in the film. And in this design, I mean, it's a William Stout design, I would assume, but it's very Kirby-esque, like the large helmet look, kind of like Galactus or, you know, Orion, where they've got these helmets, and they've got ornate designs to them, more Galactus than anything, but it's very much like a Galactus-style look. It's a large helmet with a lot going on, and Matt has captured it perfectly. He's still got that great Langella Skeletor lower jaw area that you can definitely make out that it's meant to be the live-action Skeletor under there, but the ornate design of this helmet is just... it blew my mind when I got this in the mail. I was just floored by it. He's also improved on the design of the Havoc staff a bit. This is actually a 2-segment one now to make it easier to get into the hand. The hand is a bit tighter than it was on the other Skeletor, so Matt's stepping it up past the other design a bit here too. He also told me that one of the hardest things to do on this figure was getting the cape exactly right, getting it to lay just perfectly, getting the shape just right, getting the cut just right. I think the material is awesome, what he's chosen here. It's got a nice metallic gold sheen to it, and then sort of a lighter tone on the inside. Really nice material chosen here. He's got all the articulation he had before. The base figure is a Mattel wrestling figure, which are really nice. When you look at them, their body proportions are well done. You can get a lot of different body styles from that line, so it's a really good base to start these from. And of course, there's some parts that have been recast from the other Skeletor that have been used on this to make it, you know, uniform with each other. We don't want two different looks entirely, since they're basically the same outfits, just color different. It's the helmet that really sells it and changes the look of the entire character. But man, love it. Love it, love it, love it. To finally have the God Skeletor, my mind is blown. I want to see if I can maybe zoom in just a bit here to give you guys a really good look at that helmet. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself and I'm a little excitable during this, but this is a figure that's waited 30 years for me to own it. Alright, I think I can get in there. Yeah, look at that. Now, I'll have still pictures of this guy on MOTUmovie.com and on actionfeatures.net, depending on which site you go to. They'll be linked in the info section, so you'll be able to see all those, get a better look at what Matt has done here, and then get ready for the next figure in the line after that. Who's it going to be? I know who it's going to be, but I'm not going to tell you who it's going to be. It's a villain. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, and I want to show you one other thing too. Gwildor next to him. So again, the Gwildor figure is still really solid. I love the Gwildor figure that Mattel put out. I think it's the best it can possibly be. It doesn't really match the classic style. To me, it's very much a movie-inspired figure. It doesn't fit a buck body or something, whereas Blade and Sarad, while they're cool figures, they're definitely classicized figures. And this is really just a really good movie interpretation to go along with. Let's get all three together. Yeah, I know this isn't like a regular review type thing. I'm just really excited about these, and I want to share it with you guys because I think people out there would appreciate 1987 movie figures as much as I would. So this is the lineup we've got so far. What's going to be next? Why don't you sound off in the comments and tell me what you think's coming next. Hit the info section, hit the gallery. Matthew, I can't thank you enough, man. These are... it's weird because, I mean, it's plastic and it's toys and all that stuff. But this really means a lot to me to have these. For waiting for so long, and the movie gets kind of dogged by a lot of people, which I really hate because the movie is really, really solid. To finally have them on my shelf means quite a bit to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Matt, for doing this line. All right, check the info section for the gallery. I'm going to be signing off on this one, and we'll talk to you guys soon.